Okay, so I would like to apologize for taking so long to upload a video. Uh, I've just been sick with bronchitis and mono and other problems. And I work a lot and I'm trying to write a book and I'm kind of lazy. I do have self-discipline, but I don't have very good self-motivation. Um, anyways, like, any of that really matters or is relevant, blah, 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 me. Something I've been wanting to talk about for a while is overcoming fears, understanding anxiety, and coping with anxiety. Um, let's see, ironically, what provoked my motivation to record this was a friend of mine, an acquaintance of mine, I don't know, whatever, somebody needing help. And I'm thinking, if I had recorded this video when I said I would, and when I wanted to, maybe they could have seen it and they didn't have to, I don't know, maybe it could have helped them sooner or helped someone sooner, I don't know. So anyways, with great power comes great responsibility. And I have a personal obligation to get this information out here to the people who need to know about it. Okay. Anyways. So, anxiety is a normal human response. It is the result of the fight or flight response. So this is a trait that was instilled in us to help protect ourselves from perceived danger. Okay, so pay attention to the word perceived danger. What you perceive as dangerous, you personally, okay, because that part is very important. So right now, in present society, present life, whatever, we don't have to really worry about like lions chasing us or killing us, or like dinosaurs trying to bite off our heads, or things like that. We have, I don't want to say evolved because that's just a theory, but we have evolved into domesticated life, and the things we perceive as dangerous now are flawed sometimes. For some of us, if you're having an anxiety disorder or anxiety, the things you perceive as dangerous are flawed, okay? I'm sorry, but it is. Okay. Moving on. So some examples would be like being afraid of driving, um, socializing, social anxiety, spiders, heights, and in some cases, even your own thoughts. So, like intrusive thoughts or OCD, but that's a whole other issue. Anyways, uh, so anxiety. I mean, we've all probably felt anxiety or nervousness, but anxiety feels like intense nervousness. Um, Off the top of my head, some symptoms are heart palpitation, sweaty palms, trembling, sweating, difficulty breathing, feeling a sense of being terrified and not really understanding why. Just feeling intense fear to the point of almost being paralyzed. Well, that might be more like panic. I don't know. I have trouble differentiating panic from anxiety because for me, I go from anxiety to panic in like 2 seconds. Anyways, I don't want to talk about myself. I want to talk about this. What was I saying? Anxiety. So those are the symptoms. It's terrible. Anxiety can make living the life you want to live very difficult. And what can seem really easy to other people is a challenge for you. Most people can get up out of bed, get ready, leave their house, drive to work, and talk to 50 people, and be fine, and not have a moment in the day at all where they feel anxious about it. But if you have anxiety, you know that leaving your house is a big deal. Talking to someone you've never met is a big deal. Even talking to somebody you know can be a big deal, because you're like, what do I say? What do I do? Just driving at all could be a big deal. Going to a place you've never been could be a big deal. Anyways, I could go on forever about anxiety-provoking situations. For so, if you want to get over this, if you want to live the kind of life you want, you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Okay? Comfortable with being uncomfortable. You have to embrace discomfort in order to overcome your own personal challenges. Which sucks. Oh, so poetic. Okay. So something you can do in order to sort of get over these challenges is self-exposure therapy. I kind of made that up. It's not really a thing. I mean, exposure therapy is a thing, but self-exposure therapy, it's kind of hard to expose yourself. You can only do it if you really want to. That sounds so dirty. That's not what I mean. Okay. So an example would be spiders. You're afraid of spiders. Terrified of spiders. Okay. I don't know if you are. I'm not, but some people are. You would start out by thinking about spiders. And this is all gradually over a span of time. And then you would move on to looking at a picture of a spider. And then you would, once your anxiety levels were down when thinking about or looking at a picture, then you would move on to the next level of being in the same room as a spider. Eventually looking at a spider in person, up close, and touching a spider, and then lastly, finally, holding a spider. And of course, you would experience anxiety during all of this, but you would do it gradually, and you would monitor your levels until you expose yourself enough to where you've sort of desensitized yourself, right? So, if you embrace fear, then it no longer hinders you. By embracing it, it won't be a hindrance. And another example, this might be weird, but blushing. I blush a lot. It used to really bother me, right? So I read in a self-help book. I don't remember what book. Ooh, I have a cramp. My stomach hurts. Fuck. I'm dying. Come on, Chelsea. You have to film this video, otherwise you don't get to eat your strawberry cream cheese bagel. See, that's what I do. I starve myself to motivate myself. Whole other deal. Okay, anyways, blushing. I started out by thinking of things that made me blush. In private, you know. Just thinking to make my face turn red. And I just sort of let myself feel it and be aware of it and try not to care. You know, my face is red, so what? I don't care if other people can see. I'm embarrassed. So then you could move on to going to the store and making yourself blush at the store and realizing that nobody notices and nobody cares, and maybe it's cute, or maybe it's not that bad, or maybe, you know, you expose yourself, you embrace discomfort and overcome what hinders you. So social anxiety. You might start out talking to a friend and getting comfortable with conversing. Talking on Skype with somebody online, it's different. Skyping, you could start by messaging, you could start by doing a call, then you can move on to video chat, and then you could practice doing that out in the world, well, outside, offline, with people, with strangers. Small talk, just practice. Start out small, work your way up, and pretty soon you don't think about it anymore. What else? So that's for overcoming fears, anxiety provoking fears, so that you don't feel anxiety in those situations anymore. So that's one way of managing your anxiety, by eliminating or managing your fears that cause anxiety. For actually managing your symptoms in the moment for anxiety, medicine. There are some medicines, but doctors don't want to prescribe them because they're very addictive. I was on Xanax for a few months, and Xanax is so good. It just brings a sense of peace to you and makes your heart stop hurting. I mean, obviously, from the way I'm talking about it, you can probably tell it's addictive. So I weaned myself off that. There is a sort of natural Xanax you can use anytime. It's called 4-4-8 breathing, and I want to demonstrate it right now, but I'm congested and I have allergies, so I'll probably have another video where I demonstrate 4-4-8 breathing, but for now I'll just describe it. So you inhale through your nose, you hold that breath for 4 seconds. You inhale for 4 seconds, you hold the breath for 4 seconds, and then you exhale through your mouth with your diaphragm for 8 seconds. So basically you're singing without any sound. You're just exhaling with your diaphragm for 8 seconds. So you inhale through your nose for 4 seconds. You hold that breath for 4 seconds. You exhale for 8 seconds. It is the most calming and relaxing thing ever. You can do it anytime. You can do it in public. It's just great for alleviating that anxiety. Pretty soon when you get anxious, you won't even think about it. You will just habitually, muscle memory, you will just launch right into your 4-4-8 breathing, and it'll be like nothing. It'll be like you have anxiety, but you just know what to do to get rid of it, and it doesn't even freaking matter. Like, you will be a professional badass. You will be kicking anxiety's ass like a boss, okay? Like, yeah. So, in conclusion, overcoming your fears and managing your anxiety is one of the most exhilarating feelings ever. You'll feel powerful and strong. You'll feel like you can do what anybody else can, despite your challenges, and maybe even do it better than they can. And that is a fucking good feeling. Yay! I filmed my video. Now I can eat my bagel. Okay. Bye.